Hi, I'm Daisy Vulovich with Career and Technical Education at the State College of Florida, and welcome to the first of what will hopefully be many open houses highlighting career and technical education. Tonight we have our first open house in our biotechnology program, and you're going to get an opportunity to see what is truly a remarkable laboratory with state-of-the-art equipment. You'll get to hear from some of our current and our former students, and you'll get a chance to meet our faculty and some of the employers that have found this program to be so viable. So please stay tuned. I'm here with Nicole Stoblin, who is one of our admissions staff members and has been in career and technical education for quite a few years. Nicole, what are the steps that a student needs to take if they're interested in becoming an SCF student?
Sure. Well, a student first would apply to the college. You apply online and it's free to apply to SCF. Next, they would test. If you have SAT or ACT scores, you can submit those.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So if I'm going to the SCF website, I'm going to first submit an application. Is there a particular time of year I can do that, or can I do that at any time?
You can do that at any time. We have flexible starting classes. If you're in high school, we usually recommend January senior year to start the process.
So if I've got a child at home who's in their junior year, it's not too early to start thinking about college and applications?
Absolutely not. No, I would say go ahead and, start looking at the website, the programs that we offer, the classes, come out to campus, take a tour, attend one of our events. Junior year is the perfect time.
Okay. So I've gone online, I've done the application, I've taken my ACT or SAT exams. What's my next step?
Next step is orientation, and that's where you learn more about the college, and then also you can meet with an advisor to discuss what classes you need to take for your program. If you're interested in biotechnology, and we have a brochure here, it's also on our website with classes that a student would take and the progression that they would take to earn their degree.
What if I really don't know what it is I want to do? I'm here at the Biotech Open House, and I think this might be something, but I'm not real sure. What do you recommend a student does as far as taking that first step at college?
If they're undecided, we have a Career Resource Center. That's a wonderful resource for students. It's free also, but attending open houses and talking to professors, sitting in on classes, there's lots of things that you can do to job shadow to find out more about different types of careers.
And I do believe we've got an event, I think, coming up in October if I am interested perhaps in attending next spring or next year.
Sure. In October, we have the Lakewood Ranch Open House where students come out to the campus, find out more about degree programs, take a campus tour, speak to admission representatives. So October 8th, 5 to 7:30.
Okay. Well, so it sounds like there aren't too many steps I need in order to become an SCF student.
No, there's not. It's really simple. Just apply, take a test, and then attend orientation, and we'll help you with the rest. Yeah.
Okay, well, it sounds like it's never too soon to start planning for college, and we've got people like Nicole here to give you a hand. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you.
Programs such as our biotech program wouldn't exist if it weren't for the employers in our local area, and one such employer is Ross Camp Institute. And joining us this afternoon is James Humphrey. James, what do you do at Ross Camp?
I'm the Chief Operating Officer at the Ross Camp Institute.
So for people who don't know, what is Ross Camp Institute all about?
Ross Camp Institute is a not-for-profit public charity. The mission of the Institute is to find new therapeutic treatments of diseases of the mind. We're very much focused on drug discovery and translational research. That is, identifying therapeutic targets and drugs to work on the diseases and get them into the clinic as soon as possible.
So a program like biotech, why is that such an important degree program to an employer like Ross Camp?
The Biotechnology program, I happen to be on the advisory board for the program, so we can actually make suggestions towards the syllabus so that the program can meet demands of current industry. So when the students come out of the program, they actually have the skills and the background that employers need. The things that Ross Camp look for and other biotechnology employers are that the students have a well-rounded grounding in the biotechnology industry, have ideas about methods, how to record data, and just the process. And it's a very, very advantageous program for employers to have in this area.
So how do we get the word out to other employers? Because certainly one of the things you mentioned that we can't stress enough, the importance of employers getting involved in advisory committees and giving us as the educators that advice we need to make sure our curriculum meets your needs. How do we get other employers to the table so that we can have more partnerships that are going to result in more jobs for our students?
There's different ways of doing that. One of the great ways is through the Chamber of Commerce, also the Economic Development Council, and also other things, resources like BioFlorida. Again, a non-profit that's devoted to improving and increasing the amount of biotechnology companies in Florida. So these are great organizations to reach out to.
What advice would you give students who are contemplating a career in biotech? What would you tell them to consider when looking at such a career field?
For students contemplating biotechnology, they need to have that passion. The passion for discovery, but also discipline is very important. There are, in the pharmaceutical industry, for example, it is so disciplined. You have to be 100% accurate all the time. So having the drive to find new things, but also having the discipline to follow procedures is very important.
Well, I know SCF is very grateful to employers such as yourself who take the time from your busy schedule to join us at the table as we plan new degree programs and ensure that our curriculum meets the ever-changing needs of business and industry. So on behalf of SCF, thank you so much for being part of our advisory committee and joining us today.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Thank you. Dr. Jane Filesticker is one of the managers of the biotech program here at SCF, and you must just be so proud. This is a phenomenal turnout. What do you attribute this to?
Well, I think that there's been a lot of press lately about this new and emerging opportunity of biotechnology. And Manatee County now has had an influx of biotech companies such that we have 14 partners. And I think the students have heard that this is where the jobs are. And we have recently also had a new company move into the, a little bit north of us, but a large pharmaceutical company. Bristol Myers has moved there, and they will probably be offering wonderful jobs in the very near future as well.
Okay, so tell me, what are the kinds of jobs that somebody with an Associate of Science degree in biotech is going to get when they graduate SCF?
There's a myriad of different types of jobs. Some of them in the agricultural business. We teach students how to do gene transfer in plants and animal cells so that they're prepared for that. And we also teach them how to clone plant cells so they're geared a little bit towards the agricultural business. Most of the companies that are here in our area are more pharmaceutically oriented. We have a research facility at Roskamp Institutes that would hire our students to perform tissue culture for them, or possibly do DNA sequencing for them, or become specialists in a specific machine, run polymerase chain reactions for them. All of these research-oriented techniques. And then we have a number of production companies that would require clean room techniques for pharmaceutical production. One of our partners is a contact lens manufacturer, and they require clean room techniques to be performed in their manufacturing, and so they work with us to ensure that our students have that skill set as well. So it's really varied.
Okay, so it sounds like there's several different directions I can take as a student based on whether I want to work in agriculture or manufacturing or research. But what are some of those basic courses? What am I going to do in like just an intro to biotechnology class?
Intro to Biotechnology class is really a seminar course where we have all of the local employers who are willing to come speak with our students, talk to them about their company, the types of jobs that are at their company, how they got to be where they are in this business, and then sort of share the types of places that they think their company will be going in the future, and the types of jobs they think their company will offer in the future. Once they complete that, that's really a sampling class. The other classes are all techniques classes. In one class, they learn specifically how to extract and manipulate DNA. They have another entire class to learn how to extract and manipulate RNA, and yet another specialized class to do all of that with proteins. Then we have a specialized class in which they work with plant and animal cell cultures. We can grow human cells outside of the body in petri dishes. We can actually even grow something like a mouse's ear if we wanted to, right in a petri dish.
Wow, that's really impressive. So all of the equipment that you have here is really just to support the biotech program. I get the sense that this isn't your run-of-the-mill laboratory, is it?
No, it absolutely is not. As a matter of fact, I would say that this is a better equipped lab than 80% of the universities in the state or even in the country. We have equipment here that several of our new faculty members said, wow, we didn't even have that at Purdue.
Wow. Well, congratulations to you and to the employers that you work with, because again, as you mentioned earlier, and we got to talk to one of our local employers, it's really important to have that collaboration between education and business so that our students really get a sense of the kinds of work they're going to do when they leave our classrooms, and that our employers have the opportunity to influence the kinds of things we're doing in the classroom.
Absolutely. We will even offer specialized training to any of our partners who come to us to ask for it.
Well, Dr. Filesticker, on behalf of SCF, thank you so much for your enthusiasm, and again, congratulations on this wonderful turnout today.
Thank you.
Adrienne Steele is with us, and she holds a very history-making place in SCF as our very first biotechnology graduate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
When did you earn your Associate of Science degree in biotech?
It was actually this year.
And now I understand that you just recently were offered a full-time job?
Yep. Nice hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Okay. Oh, you've made your parents proud. So tell us a little bit about how you got to your job, because I do believe it started as an internship, right?
It did. Actually, the internship I had with the program here at SCF was at Osprey Biotechnics. I actually wanted to go to Rapid Pathogen. I figured it would be a little bit more challenging and I would learn a little bit more about the program. So
But you did your internship at Osprey.
I did, yes. And I contacted Dr. Condon at Rapid Pathogen after I graduated and asked him if there was any positions open, and he said there was. So I went there for a little trial, and they got my full-time position after 3 months.
So a lot of students are very reluctant to do an internship, and yet it seems to me that's a wonderful way to kind of gain some real-world experience and beef up your resume. Talk a little bit about the internship experience.
Well, the one I had at Osprey that was included in the program it's so nice. It's great. I think every student should do it, and I think it's great that they actually include it in the program. I learned a little bit about on-the-job training. I got a real-world experience, like you said. I mean, here is great. You get hands-on experience, but we do have a professor here that's helping us out a little bit. You get a little bit more on your own time when you do an internship.
So what advice would you give to somebody? Obviously, we've got a phenomenal turnout today. So some of the students here aren't real sure whether or not they want to major in the biotechnology program. What advice would you give to them?
If they love working with their hands, definitely. If they've ever had a love of microbiology, biotechnology, if they want to learn about gel formation, any kind of bacteriology, they definitely should do that. PCR reactions. If you just have a brain for that sort of thing, troubleshooting definitely, and keep up on your math skills.
Okay. Oh, math skills.
Yes.
Okay, that probably leaves some of us out of the picture. But aside from that, what do you think, now that you've been outside of SCF, aside from the technical skills, can you say something about some of the other skills outside of content area that you think students really need to know in order to be employable today?
Let's see, I guess just be really focused. There actually, after you do graduate, there is extra studying that I found I had to do, so education will never ever stop.
Oh no, did you hear that? So this is really the beginning, not the end.
Yes, definitely. And all companies in the neighborhood, they're all different. They all use your skills that you've been implemented here, but they're all different in their own way.
So part of the challenge then, it seems like, is to find what company best suits the kinds of things you're interested in.
Exactly, and that's one good thing about the very beginning of this program is they had a bunch of different speakers from the different companies in the neighborhood come in and tell them a little bit about what they each do. So that kind of steers you one way or the other as well.
So then you get to sample a little bit about what the different employers are all about. Well, great. Well, Adrienne, you've done us proud. Thank you so much. Congratulations, and good luck at being our neighbor out at Lakewood Ranch. Thank you very much.
Bye. Thanks.
Adrienne, what made you interested in the biotech program, and what really influenced you? Because there are so many programs that students can take at SCF, and this, frankly, is one of our newest programs. So what influenced you to take this program and to stick with it?
Well, ever since I was little, I've always been interested in biotechnology, microbiology especially. My friend actually, who is just graduated as a nursing student here, told me about the program when I was taking courses at USF in Tampa. So I actually invite everyone of all ages to come here and take this course, especially if you like more hands-on. All ages, because I'm a little bit older than the average student myself, but I did it, so it's very nice. And I like to thank Dr. Feilsticker, Dr. Thomas especially. He's been one of my favorite mentors here. And
of course, having the classes that are a relatively small size and very hands-on certainly helps encourage students when they've got questions.
Oh, definitely. The small sizes of the courses, very nice. Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much, and good luck at your new position.
Thank you.
One of the reasons we have open houses such as this one is to encourage prospective students to come and take a look around and see if perhaps they might be interested in enrolling in our biotechnology program. And with us today is Mike, who has been an SCF student, I understand, and has moved on to USF and is contemplating coming back. So tell us a little bit about what brings you out here today and why you may be interested in biotech.
Well, I've always been interested in the biology department in general, and I noticed that the biotech deals more with NMRs and specific cell cultures, and I find that really interesting, and also that they have a lot of internship programs, which helps me find a job, which is a lot of help in this job economy. And I noticed that the STEM degree is one of the number one things going for this year, so I figured, yeah, this is a very good program to get into.
You mentioned STEM, and of course it is one of the most popular programs today around the country, trying to encourage students to get into science, technology, engineering, and math-oriented courses. So I guess I have to ask the question, you must like science and math, right?
Yes, I do. I've taken up to Calc 2, and I do like math, I do like physics, I like science, everything.
So have you had a chance, you mentioned that you were an SCF student. Did you know about this program when you were an SCF student before?
I was an SCF student a couple years ago. They didn't really have a variety of the program, but when I came back from USF, you guys had a story in the paper about it, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. I better go check it out.
And that's what brings you here today, right?
Yep.
Well, it's never too soon to re-enroll. If it's been more than a year, you'll have to reapply, but it's a very simple online process, and I think you were talking to one of our advisors here earlier, Nicole, so she can get you started. Well, we hope that we get to see you, Mike, in our biotech program, and thank you so much for taking the time to come back to SCF.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Dr. Matt Thomas is one of the co-managers of our Biotechnology Associate of Science degree, and the question that I want to ask you is what makes us so unique? We've had so many people here today at the open house, and we've talked to students who've raved about the program. Why are we so different than other programs?
I think really we're presenting an opportunity to students at a much earlier point in their careers and even in their age than you typically will experience these techniques. Plus, the school has really invested in the materials to make this program successful. So we get to use equipment, items, chemicals that really are industry grade. They're really top notch. And if you go off to other schools at the university level, you really don't get any of this until maybe your senior year at best if you really pursue it.
So one of the things I've noticed is there are some very unique pieces of equipment around the room. Just give us sort of a cursory view of what kinds of things are we looking at when we look around the room.
Well, over here we have our tissue culture hood, and that's really for doing growing mammalian cells in culture. And it sounds like a simple thing. I just want to take some cells and grow them, but it's technically challenged. It needs special equipment. A lot of schools don't even have that, or it's only reserved for the research labs, or where only graduate students get to use it. So we have our AS students, our AA students using this stuff, and it's top notch, and it's not cheap. So
okay, so a piece of equipment like that, how do you let employers know that this is the kind of training they're getting here? Because as you say, it sounds like it's the kind of equipment and the kind of information that may be typically found at a master's level, and we're doing it at a 2-year certificate associate degree level.
Well, we meet with our industry partners on an occasional basis, a couple times a year. Plus, I try to communicate with them on a fairly regular basis. But I also ask them, what do you guys need? What can I put in my budgets to convince my administration what we're going to do is support the community? So we do those sorts of things. And also, I bring them in. We have them come visit. We show them off what we have. We've invited them to this open house. Some have come. we've had them come for tours. So we just try to make a personal connection with them.
How do you think that helps our students in terms of ultimately getting a job, which is what we all want them to be able to do?
You know, most of my jobs I've gotten because of networking and personal connections. So if we can help maintain and help the students generate those connections, that's going to help them get jobs. Plus, as we build our reputation, our industry partners and people across the state are going to know we have quality students who have high, good skills. And that reputation is going to make them get jobs.
Well, certainly one of the things that we've seen in talking to you and Dr. Filesticker is the passion that you all have for this program. If you have the opportunity right now to talk to a student who may be undecided about an initial career, what advice would you give them that might get them interested in biotechnology?
Is there something about nature that sparks your interest? Do you have a family member with a genetic condition? Do you know somebody who has cancer? Do you know somebody involved in the environment and want to help maintain the environment? If those things are what you're passionate about, then you need to come see us, because biotechnology has changed all those fields and revolutionized them. And if you want to contribute nowadays, you need a sound biotechnology foundation.
And that sound foundation can be found here at the SCF Bradenton campus. On behalf of the college, we appreciate the work that our faculty, such as Dr. Thomas, do networking with employers such as Ross Camp Institute that was here today. Congratulations on a very successful open house.
Great, I'm glad everybody could make it. It's been great fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Mike, one of our students in the AS degree program in biotechnology, and I understand that Mike's going to be getting ready to graduate soon. When are we going to be seeing you walking down the aisle?
Hopefully May 2014.
So I understand that you've actually been in the program a few years. You're probably one of our original students. So tell me a little bit about what prompted your interest in biotech.
It was actually a microbiology course. I enjoyed things on the molecular level, and being able to take what I learned from microbiology and apply it, it was just something I was interested in.
So we were talking earlier about the fact that one of the things you loved was taking what you were reading in a textbook and actually seeing it come to life. Give me an example of something that really excited you while you've been in the program the last couple of years.
Okay, well, I actually have a perfect one. We had a bacteria last year that we introduced a gene that made it glow called P-glow, which was a gene from a jellyfish that gave it bioluminescence. And so we were able to introduce that gene into the bacteria and make it glow under fluorescent lights. I thought it was great.
That is cool. Very cool. I didn't understand half of what you said, Mike, but I think that is really exciting that we get to do things like this at the campus, and we have students such as yourself who clearly you're very passionate about this, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what advice would you give to some of the students who came here tonight that are undecided? How would you kind of win them over to biotech? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that it is a very, very important skill to have, even if it's not what you want to do as a job. Regardless in the biology field, it is very important skills to have. The skill sets, the use of being able to apply
what you've been learning in the textbook and actually see.
Exactly. Being able to put it to life is a big, big thing for me.
One of the things we've seen during the open house tonight is really the level of sophistication in the equipment that we have. What's it meant to you to work in this type of a facility and this type of lab? Tell us a little bit about what it's like working around all this stuff.
Well, it means a lot to me because this is what I'm going to be working with. This is what I'm going to be using in different laboratories and other job sites. So I'd rather learn on something that I'm actually going to use rather than use some subpar instrument and have to do something else down the road.
So you really feel like this lab is a really good depiction of what you're going to be seeing once you leave here and go out into the workforce?
Absolutely. I feel it's a necessity. It helps you prepare for what's coming up.
Biotech is one of the college's newest programs, and so it's trying to grow its enrollment. tell me what the role of the faculty have been for you in maintaining your interest in biotech.
They have been my biggest supporters. Without them, I really don't think I would be where I'm at right now. They make sure you know your material. They help you with anything you need. So it's almost like a family. We're growing close, very helpful. Without them, I don't think I would be here.
Well, what a nice thing to say the very first week of school. So thank you very much, Mike, and good luck in your future studies.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us and learning more about our biotechnology program. As you can see, we have a passionate faculty, we have a state-of-the-art laboratory, we have employers that are interested in what we're teaching and in hiring our students. And most of all, we have students, the workforce of tomorrow, that are getting trained with what they need in the workplace. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you at SCF.